Alright, welcome to a video around my server with my friends. This is basically just to immortalize some of the builds. This is the first building in the first town, called OasisTown. This is where you could spawn and drop off your items. There's some signs you can pause to read. And it might appear to be a bit choppy because I was playing around with game modes and stuff, so I had to edit that out. This second spot is called Jimbo's Cack and Sack, which was made by Dizzle. I believe he intended for this to be like a hub building for the mine and sewer, but he lost interest in finishing. It looked pretty good, so he was satisfied with it. There's a whole load of neat details in here. It connects into the mines, and you can see there's some more signs which you can pause to read, and all the stuff on the walls and whatnot. And when we go down to the mines, you can start to see how much effort was put in here, just due to placing each individual block and making it look good. But when we go down here, you can also see how it turns into the underground. And then there's just the iron golem standing bodyguard, from where it turns into safe to dangerous, I guess you could say. Next up is more buildings in the first town. This one is pretty barren, but I think it used to have some villagers. I'm not sure, maybe it used to be a barn, can't quite recall. But it still has this nice little courtyard and this weird stone hut, which I believe held a shitload of chickens captive for a while, but I think they did a spawn eventually. This next little building is Armor All, which is a weapon and armor store, which was made by Dizzle, as well as the previous one. Also has a bunch of nice little details, and I noticed while recording this that that it actually has this back bit that's kind of like a bedroom. So, as you can see, Dizzle really carried a lot of this first. This is probably the first big building to be built, which is the Creeper Inn. It has a bunch of different entrances, and you can see it's built into like this tunnel kind of deal. I think this might have been done by Dizzle as well, but I'm not totally sure. It's decorated very nice, but everything in OasisTown and most of our first build had like these looping bits, so you return to where you started, which I think helps make it feel like more connected and like everything's part of a single world. But it's also a pain in the ass a year or two later when I'm trying to explain everything. This place is also super decked out. It has a whole pool and everything. I also feel like we created a lot of liminal spaces. This next area is the tunnel. It went through a mountain, but it kind of got wrecked over time. I'm also not sure what the shop area is. I think Jaden put it there. This next little area was built by me, and it's meant to be hidden for the most part. It's basically just a maze, and there's a couple dead ends and wrong turns, but like nothing special. There is this waterway which you can't go down, but back out, and down the hall is a wall of levers. I'll save the suspense, and if you use the right code, a piston opens up a secret path, and you fall down into a sauna. Which is pretty much just another liminal place. And then that water spot from before brings us back up out of there. Out of there and just outside, there is a tunnel next to the secret. This is Jungle Tree Beach, which is again built by Dizzle, and this tunnel is very liminal feeling. But then at the end, you pop out to see a huge jungle tree and a pirate ship, which I'll get around to later because it wasn't built until much later. Off to the right, you have this house shack thing, which is pretty nice view, and it's decorated well. After this we leave and we can see some more beach while we head to this market kind of building, which is dark, but I like the ice boxes and stuff. Decorated well once again. Then we head out again and down a bit to the lighthouse, which was Dizzle's first ever redstone project, I believe. And the lights are all synced, which I know is a pain in the ass to do because I failed to do it later. So that's pretty cool. But heading back down out of there and making our way to the beach, we have a coconut cabana kind of vibe, like, you know, get a drink in a coconut pina colada. And then there's some towels and an umbrella, and then my shader offers a pretty nice view. Next up is this weird prismarine building that I think Jaden or maybe someone else did. There isn't a whole lot to it, it's just this main hallway and then two offshoots with like this weird altar vibe in the middle. Next is this weird store thing. I'm not really sure who built this or even what it's called, but it seems to be like a weapon shop with some specialty, and also there's a back room with enchanting. This kind of feels like another Tristan, but it could also easily be Darren. Just outside is this path with a tent that connects around the tunnel, but there's not a whole lot here. The store behind it, however, is kind of awesome. You come in and there are some signs which you can read, and this trap door that leads down to a strange store. This was built by Dizzle, and as you can see, there are some illegal things here, wink wink, and of course a clerk to help you. Outside of there, and on a hill, is this huge red sandstone castle that doesn't seem complete, and honestly, I don't even know when this was added. And that road leads out to another section of map, which will be in another video. After that though, and just down the street, you get to the drug corner, and then a mini tunnel, which leads to my barber shop. I added this after thinking OasisTown felt empty, which was about a month after we started out. It's kind of low effort, but it gets the job done. Outside of the barber door, you see a trap door with a button, and this leads you into the sewers, which I'm not going to cover too much because they're kind of huge and they suck to build, but Dizzle and Jaden did take care of most of the work, so I'd say that this is kind of like their baby, or like their teamwork baby. They also added some turtles down here as a reference to something, which I'm sure you can figure out. Anyway, that leads us back to the start of OasisTown. But we will go back down, and around the ladder there is another trapdoor which leads deeper, eventually to the vault, which was a big Dizzle project that he spent a lot of time on. And you can see these little waterways to the left and right for entry and exit, I'm guessing like as a secret. Back to the door, you can see this huge hallway that connects to the vault, but also there's this weird enchanting spot halfway down, maybe as a resting spot kind of deal. And the actual vault, you can see, has a room which is very well decorated. Dizzle put a lot of time into this, and there's also multiple entrances besides just this one. Sewer hub thing under the road, which Jaden built. But up and out of there, you can see the weird castle and the sign for my barbershop. But if you head further down, you'll see another door and some signs. This is a cat shelter built by Amelia as one of her first creative area contributions. She isn't big on building, but I still think this place turned out nice, and she even added redstone lights. This was our final stop because if we leave here and walk down the road, we get to the crossroads. This was another big area because initially it connected the only 3 cities of the creative area together. And I'm gonna slowly over time hopefully capture each of these areas and capture everything we've built together. Thanks for watching. I hope you'll tune in for the next one.